All right, talk about a successful career. Our first guest today has been around the block in Nashville and then some, and he is still making award-winning music.
He still looks so young. Country music artist Gary Chapman has a new album called The Truth. It's a mix of Christian, Southern gospel, contemporary pop, and country.
It features, get this, Tanya Tucker, Alison Kraus, and his beautiful wife, Cassie Chapman. His Dove Awards, which, by the way, recognize outstanding achievement in Christian music, include Male Vocalist of the Year and Songwriter of the Year.
And a big welcome to Gary Chapman. Great to have you here.
Thank you. It is a pleasure.
Hey, Gary, you know, Grammy-nominated Gary Chapman, Dove Award-winning Gary Chapman, you have really racked up some nice accolades over the years.
You know, it's always nice to be recognized, but the greatest thing for me is just to keep working. I've been at it for 35 years or so now. Longer than that, actually. I started singing when I was 3, so
oh my.
It's kind of all I know how to do.
You did take a little hiatus, though. What did you do during that time off?
You know, it's been 10 years, basically, since the last music project. And I wanted to be available for my kids after kind of a rough time and be there for them. And then my father lived with Cassie and I until he passed away. And he needed a lot of care. And it just, that was just more important than anything else.
Now that care that you gave your dad, first of all, it was a beautiful thing what you did, and you documented everything, didn't you?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, the sweetest part of it is turned into something that has continued. The one thing that actually brought him real comfort, he had Parkinson's and then cancer at the end, just to make it interesting, I guess.
Yeah, multiple myeloma.
Yes,
right?
indeed.
Yes.
And lost use of his legs, so there was an awful lot of connection. We were always very close, and we got closer.
I bet you did.
But the one thing that really brought him comfort was me sitting beside his bed and playing and singing the songs that he had taught me, you know,
and hymns,
40, 50 years ago.
Pretty much, because he's a pastor.
Exactly. And after he died, Cassie just said, why don't we keep doing this? There's more people that are in that situation. So we originally started it for almost like a hospice thing and put them up on YouTube and Facebook. And it has developed into the coolest global community. It's called A Hymn a Week on Facebook. And it's really a sweet spot. We've actually created a safe place on the internet, which is hard to do.
That's nice.
But because it's in honor of them, you know, we police it religiously. And you can get on there and be a jerk one time.
That's it, and you're done.
You're out.
What kind of reaction are you getting from people who visit the page and who kind of take in what you've done?
You know, they appreciate it. Many people like me are not all that giant a fan of modern worship. There's a bunch of good music there, but you know, the songs that live 200 or 300 years, they live that long because they're great. And I think a lot of people miss those. And I put a little bit of a different spin. I don't try to modernize them, but they're a little more digestible to 20 years. And you know, I think it's a good, safe home for people to hear those songs. And they love finding each other as much as they love finding us. Yeah. Because, you know, we all thrive on community, and that's what's there.
Well, you know, your daddy is smiling down on you for what you're doing.
I think so.
Yeah,
do we hear
absolutely.
any of that on The Truth, or is that a totally different type of album?
You know, you don't hear any hymns on The Truth, but there are definitely songs there that came out of that experience. Yes.
I'm sure. Now, you have had quite a life. Cassie is your third wife, right?
She is indeed.
So what are you doing this time to
Finally
make
got
this
it
one
right.
Three times
your
a charm.
final wife?
Finally got it right. You know, everybody makes mistakes, and then life sometimes just slaps you around. You have a choice to stay down and decide to not trust, not care, remain wounded, or you have a choice to risk and kind of look it right in the eye and say, okay, bring it. And I knew when I met her that was the path I needed to take.
Well, we are going to meet her in just a minute, right after the break. You guys are both starring on a new TNT reality show, Private Lives of Nashville Lives.
It's not that private anymore. It's on television.
No, but there's a great story because you guys adopted a kid.
Yeah.
You had to hide that baby.
We did.
For how many months?
9.
Which is as long as she's been alive.
It's hilarious.
You're going to hear that story and more when Cassie Chapman joins her husband Gary right after the break.
Country music artist Gary Chapman joins us again, and we're also joined by his beautiful wife, Cassie Chapman.
Now, you can watch them both on the brand new TNT show, The Private Lives of Nashville Wives. Take a look.
I wanted to be a mother my whole life, and now I have this sweet little baby daughter in my arms, and this looming fear of just that dreaded phone call saying Chelsea has changed her mind and you need to bring your baby back. And I know I put on a brave face for that, but it beats me up.
Okay, here we are.
Wow.
I'm already in tears. Thank you, guys.
I'm in tears now.
It's okay. It's okay.
But that has
We've
not
got it.
happened. You still have this baby, right?
Yes, you know, it was very scary.
Yeah.
We trusted the mother.
You adopted.
Yes, we did adopt.
How did you find the mother?
That's a random story. We were getting ready to go down the IVF path.
Yes.
And that was actually going to be the storyline on the show. And all of a sudden I get a phone call late November, 2 years ago, 9:30 at night from our friend.
I'm just sitting watching television. Phone rings.
And she's like, I know you guys are thinking about IVF, but have you ever thought about adoption? I'm like, yes, absolutely. And she goes, well, would you like to meet the birth mother? And I'm like, yes, when? She goes, how about Friday? I'm like, okay. Hang up the phone. Gary goes, what was that all about? It's like, we're gonna go meet our birth mother Friday. He goes,
Wow.
Sweet.
It's not usually that quick or
No.
that easy.
No.
Let's just say.
And it was a God thing, period.
And her name is Eva?
Eva Rose.
Eva Rose. And she is red hair, blue eyes,
Yeah.
beautiful. Now, you were telling me in the green room getting dressed that
Oh, what a sweetheart.
you've had to, since you picked her up from the hospital because you were there for the birth,
Right.
that you've had to, what, hide this child?
Yes, pretty much. You know, they wanted it to stay under wraps, literally.
The show.
The show wanted it to happen that way. It's really weird, though, because obviously our family and close friends, they're going through this process with us. You know, so I'm walking around the supermarket with the baby stuffed under my shirt like maybe I'm carrying the baby. And no, you just... The invisibility cloak, whatever.
Right,
you know.
from
Everybody
Harry
just
Potter.
thought Gary had put on a few pounds, that's all.
You know, hey, I'll beef up now and then, whatever.
How did you two meet? I'm curious.
Oh boy, okay, short story. It can be very long.
It's a very long story.
Give us the Reader's Digest
Yes.
condensed.
So now everybody knows that I was a Hooters girl, and I was in the Bahamas. We were on a little teeny tiny island called Staniel Cay in the Exumas, and no cell service, no internet service, because the first thing you would do is Google somebody, correct? I mean,
right,
if you're
right.
Sure.
Yeah. Who is this guy?
yes,
Yeah.
but didn't have that. I knew he was a little bit older, but didn't know how much older.
Yeah, I'm 74.
Didn't know who he was.
How much older are
23.
23.
23 years?
years.
Okay, all right.
You would never know.
Yeah.
I'm definitely older.
Yeah, the beautiful thing is
Mature,
she's an
more
old
mature.
soul, and I'm an
She's
idiot.
an old soul,
And
exactly.
you're a young soul.
We've met exactly right.
So you met at Hooters?
Well,
on an
no.
island?
I was shooting for the Hooters calendar,
Oh.
and his production company was there filming the making
Fabulous
of.
gig, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Just saying.
Good
What a
work if you
gig.
can get it.
Yeah.
It works, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, how cliche it may sound, but it was love at first sight.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, bam, what just happened?
We just laughed for a week, and then she flies back to Miami where she gets internet service.
Google.
Oh, God, now what I'm going to do.
What am I going to tell my dad is the first thought that
Yeah,
came
what
to
did you
mind.
tell your dad?
It's like,
Daddy?
Dad, so, I met this really great guy.
You have a new golfing partner.
And I told him who it was, and he's like, what does he want to do with you? And I was like,
I had a list, of course, that I supplied.
How did you get him to be won over
You know
by
what?
the whole idea?
It was very,
It was easy.
very easy. He's a great guy. Her mom is wonderful. But truthfully, we actually connected quite easily because we're not that far apart in age. You know,
Right.
we're contemporaries, and you know he understands. Life is shorter than you think, and when you find something real, lean into it and embrace it, and don't give a rip what somebody thinks about it.
Yeah.
And
How
that's
long have
just
you
the
been
way we
married
live.
now?
5 years together, 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Oh, wait, I always get confused.
And having to sort of expose your life, if you will, and especially what
Right.
you've just been through with having this beautiful little girl, what was that like for you? And were there ever any times where you're like, you know what, I want these cameras turned off?
You know,
Yes is the answer to the last part of it. That happens inevitably.
the film crew became family. I mean, Was it awkward? Absolutely. At the very beginning, it was very awkward to have, hi, here I am trying to be a new mom and I have a newborn. Sleep deprivation set in and
Right.
yes, I was stressed out a little bit. But
for me, I chose long ago to live my life very honestly and very openly. I mean, it's very difficult to find something that hasn't been said, positive or negative, about me. So I'm okay with it. It just doesn't matter to me anymore.
And the way it's edited, when you're watching it, do you go, oh, you know, that's really not the way things happen?
you know, they actually did a pretty great job.
They did a great job, I thought. Now, for me, because I kind of do that as part of my life, there's 1,000 ways to edit everything, and their way's never going to be my way.
Well,
Right.
exactly. And you have no control over that.
No, zero.
Yeah.
But I think they captured our stories beautifully. I think they really did. Now, we wish the adoption story would have been more, but it's TV. They have a short amount of time, so.
Yeah.
And Cassie, are you still singing full time now?
Oh, no. I just sing with him, background vocals.
She is a reluctant, great singer.
He says it's like taking me to the dentist.
It is.
To get in the
She would
studio.
prefer a
I
root
can't
canal
wait to hear you
to the
sing.
studio,
I'm going to
but
have
she
to
has a
listen to
great
this
voice.
album.
Yeah, now we do have a treat for you because Gary Chapman is going to sing with us. Do you want to do backup with him? Yeah, she's like,
I will dance. Be happy to dance.
Do a little
interpretive dance.
Oh, interpretive dance.
Yes, actually.
I love that.
The name of the song is Safe from the Wind.
I remember Mama calling, boy, you better get back in this house. There's a bitter wind blowing straight from the south. I can still feel her sweet face against my skin. Even now a good storm takes me there again. When the of change are blowing and the waves are crashing in, and I can feel the sand beneath my feet start changing shape again. When I see the darkness falling and the night comes storming in your arms, I will find shelter, safe from the wind, safe from the wind. Life is mostly so uncertain. I'm most certain that's the case. And I know that most of what I'm seeing will soon be erased. But I still believe that true love never fails, and that you and I can weather any gale. When the winds of change are blowing and the waves are crashing in, and I can feel the sand beneath my feet start changing shape again. When I see the darkness falling and the night comes storming in your arms, I will find shelter, safe from the wind that tries to break our hearts into a million pieces. But in your care, I spread my wings and fly. When the winds of change are blowing and the waves are crashing in, and I can feel the sand beneath my feet start changing shape again. When I see the darkness falling and the night comes storming in your arms, I will and I will feel